Hello. It has been a while. So, I honestly, today I'm just feeling called to just sit down and have a chit chat with you and share with you about my life update, what I've been up to. Some of you probably know I recently just moved from Vancouver to Taiwan, and I'll be here in Taiwan for the next 5 to 6 months. And oh my gosh, I feel like I'm entering a new era. I think it probably has to do with me turning 30 and the fact that I moved to a complete new place or like totally change my environment. And also, I'm in my Saturn return right now, and Saturn return is all about a maturing. According to astrology, when you get to according to astrology, before age 30, you're technically still considered a child, and a lot of things that you're doing haven't really truly set in yet. And when you go through your Saturn return, it's a sign of maturing, and you're being called to uphold more responsibilities and more obligations, and you're also being faced, having to face, being faced with a lot of the limitations and the beliefs that you've had to really, see them for what they are. And so this era is a big stage of up leveling, of maturing, of really owning your shit. I think that's what you can really call this time. And I feel like, oh my gosh, it has been such a hard and challenging year for me personally. And now that I've just turned 30 and I'm in Taiwan, a lot of things are really, really settling in for me. I'm definitely in this new era, and oh my gosh, I love Taiwan so much. I feel like now that I'm here, it's very interesting because I feel like my soul feels at home. Like it's like a homecoming to my soul coming back to Taiwan, which is so interesting. And I think this definitely has something to do with the me being an Asian person living in the Western world or living in a multicultural world for so long. And now that I'm in Taiwan, surrounded by my people and surrounded by the culture and my upbringing and the upbringing that I grew up in, I just feel so much more safe and so much more comfortable. And so I highly recommend if you feel like, if you're also someone who lives overseas and you're also an immigrant or you're a child of immigrant, I highly recommend you to take that time in your all of your busy life to reconnect with your roots and doesn't even have to be, like me flying to a different country for you to reconnect with your roots. You can you can definitely do it at where you are with just immersing yourself with the culture of what you grew up with because it really feels so, so different. Like I thought Vancouver was my home. And in so many cases, like, in so many ways, it will always be my home. But I think the best word to put it is that Vancouver just is a place that just happens to be my home. It is a place that my family and I immigrated to. It is a place that I got my education, where my friends are, where I built my career. It just happens to be my home. And there's so many amazing things about Vancouver. And yet, the moment I landed in Taiwan, the moment I went out and just interacted with the community and with the space while I'm in Taiwan, I like this is a whole different level of how home feels like for my soul. And I remember just like having a quick walk by the park. Oh, by the way, if you hear like hammering, the neighbor just happens to be doing some renovation. So we just have to deal with it. The show must go on, okay? But you have been warned. So just know that there's going to be noise in the background. But yes, I'm just gonna continue. sharing with you about what I've been up to. So I remember walking just in the park and hearing people speaking Mandarin around me and just walking around me. I just kind of got very emotional because I just feel like I'm one of them. And I just feel so belonged here, even though they're like complete strangers. And I never really felt like this when I go out in Vancouver. I think people are nice in Vancouver, but if I do talk to a random stranger, and also when I'm out and about, I think I'm a lot more introverted, so I won't start conversation unless I really need to. And so if I'm in Vancouver, there's always this layer like this invisible layer or invisible barrier in me that I know that, oh, they don't look like me. So in a way, we're probably different, right? Or they're coming from a different culture. Um, Even in like the Chinese world or like the Asian world, it's like you will know, oh, they're from Hong Kong, they're from Japan, they're from, Malaysia. It's different. And yeah, when I'm walking in Taiwan, everyone's Taiwanese, and I just feel so relaxed and feel so at home here. I feel like that invisible layer, cultural layer, I can definitely drop it. And I just feel like I can be my full self. Like I have no problem just starting random conversations and talking to the cashier or someone who's walking by or a grandma who's walking in a park, and just like having casual talks with them. Something that I never rarely do when I'm in Vancouver, which I'm finding so fascinating. And so when I'm in this environment, I just feel so safe and so relaxed. And I feel like it's a homecoming for my soul. So this is the what I really want to share now that I'm in Taiwan and really settling in. The second thing I want to say is that it's so important. I'm seeing how important it is to not lose our routines and our habits. So because the time zone in Taiwan, there is a 16-hour difference between Taiwan and Vancouver. And so it's such a big difference. And basically now that I'm back, my entire work schedule and my entire schedule is upside down because I have to match the time zone for a lot of my clients in North America. And so like in the past I used to wake up and I have the morning to myself and I start taking calls in the afternoon. But now that I'm in Taiwan, it's actually completely different. It's where I wake up early morning and I take calls right away because it will be afternoon in North America. So I take calls right away and then I have my own time in the afternoon. So there are a lot of changes, a lot of shifts. Um, but this time around, I'm a lot more intentional, and I really told myself that I don't want this transition to feel messy, to feel chaotic. I want to slowly ease into it. I just want to relax into it. And that's exactly what I did. And so I really focused a lot on the habits that I always do every single day, like the habits and routines that I do every single day that help me to recharge and that help me to regenerate. And a lot of them has to do with um, things that get my body moving, such as I will still go for my morning jog, but maybe instead of a long one, it will just be a quick and short jog. Uh, I still go out in between my tasks to go out for a quick walk in the park to recharge, to be by nature. And that has helped me so much. Um, I do a lot of, I still do stretching right before bed. And these are something that's so simple, which makes it, because they're so simple, which makes it so much easier for people to not do when they are in transition. And yet, what I want to offer is that especially when things are chaotic, especially when you are transitioning, it is even more important for you to continue and keep up with the things that help you to keep you grounded and that help to keep you recharged and nourished. And for me, it just happens to be these activities that recharge me, that nourish me. And so I know that it doesn't really matter how hectic my schedule is, how big of a transition it is, if I continue to focus on the things that recharge me, that give me the space to think, it will help me to settle down into my new routine so much faster. And I get my rest. I am still creative. I'm still on top of things, even though, I'm still kind of transitioning and uh like I'm still trying to work with my schedule, but I overall I feel very, very I would say very like relaxed and very easeful as I'm settling into this new schedule. So do not lose your regenerative habits. And if right now your life is very busy, you really want to ask yourself, what are the one or two activities that very simple activities that I can do in my day to help me recharge and regenerate? Because what you want to do is you want to add in a lot of those activities in between your days as a quick circuit breaker, right? You know how sometimes if you stay doing work fixed in front of the screen for like 3 or 4 hours, it's actually not as productive versus if you focus on something for 1 hour and then you take a circuit break and then you come back. You will become more nourished, more recharged, and your energy is regenerated from within, and then you can continue to carry along with the rest of your task, right? Like those activities in between the circuit breakers, I also call them the regenerative activities. They're so, so, so important. Okay, the last thing I want to say is I'm really noticing now this time around coming back, I really do see the power in the fact that I'm the person that creates my own energy and the person that creates how I get to feel. So in the past, when I came back to Taiwan, I used to be in this more of a frantic energy of like, oh my gosh, I love Taiwan so much. I'm back now. I need to go eat all the things, visit all the people, buy all the things because everything is so affordable here. The food is so good, right? I have to do all of these things. Uh, Go to a dentist, whatever. Like do all these things, hang out with friends, see my relatives, all these things. Like I must do them all and I must like get the most of my experience because I want to feel a certain way when I was in Taiwan. I want to feel excited. I want to feel like I'm really making the most of my time. And a lot of this has to do with there's this frantic scarcity energy that I feel. And this time around, I can find joy and satisfaction and fulfillment in the most simplest and most ordinary things, such as something that I just shared with you. I simply just take myself out to go for a walk in the park, and it gives me so much joy. I'm noticing the little things. I'm really taking my time to like really immerse myself in the walk and really, really enjoying it. I don't feel like a rush to see all my family, to see all my relatives. I don't feel a rush to like tell everyone I'm back and let's hang out. I don't feel the need to, I must try everything and I must buy everything. I must travel and visit all the places, right? I'm just kind of in this place where I'm really not romanticizing because I don't think that's the right word. I'm not, I'm really just like finding the deep joy that exists in the everyday. Like I can go to a local shop just right down around the corner and sit there and order a cup of noodles, and I can get so much joy out of it. Whereas I definitely remember a few years before, like a younger version of me would have gone, who have been in Taiwan and who have done all the research to go to that one famous place that I have to go to. And for me to really, like feel like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I take a picture of it and share with the world. That's just the type of person that I was. And I think that's okay. And I think that's beautiful. But I'm definitely in this era where I know that because I'm the person that creates my own energy and my own feeling, I can feel a lot of things already, just internally, doing the most simple things because it's in the simple things and it's like who I am when I'm doing the simple things, right? It's who I am when I'm taking a walk. It's who I am when I'm eating that seemingly ordinary meal. It's so different. And I don't know, I'm just feeling very different this time around. And I'm just feeling so relaxed and so much more at ease. And this is not because I've moved to Taiwan. Like when I was in Vancouver, I was also feeling like this too. I could find the simplest activities. I can get a lot of joy out of it. And because I've had that experience, I know that doesn't matter where I go in Taiwan or in Vancouver, I can be the person to give myself that energy and give myself that experience. And so, what I really want to offer for you is what are the things that you're already doing right now in your everyday life? And how can you enrich your experience of it? Right? And I think this is really the work that it takes as we are living in this capitalist world where all the messaging that you see and all the marketing that you see in the mass media, they're telling you that you need to go outside of you to seek those things in order for you to feel more happy, more joyful, right? You have to get all the makeup, you have to try all these new restaurants, you have to you have to go work at this company in order for you to feel a certain way. You have to get your business to a certain level, sign a certain number of clients, make a certain amount of money in order for you to feel a certain way. And this is the rebellion against, like, this is you standing up. This is the resistance against capitalism is you decide that you don't need any of that. You don't need any changes externally around you or seek for those things for you to feel fulfilled right now, for you to feel alive and at ease and comfortable with yourself right now. And it is totally possible because you are the person that creates your own energy. You are the person that creates your own beliefs, how you want to think, and how you want to feel. And so, how can you enrich the experience of what you are already doing right now? How can you let your everyday seemingly mundane, ordinary routines and work tasks have more fulfillment and have more meaning in them? Everyone's different, but I think this is the question that you have to constantly ask yourself and to create for yourself. Perhaps it is making some small tweaks in your schedule. Perhaps it is trying out something new in the local community, maybe a new class. Maybe it is learning a new skill. Perhaps it is giving yourself a small daily challenge that you've been thinking about but haven't really fully committed to, right? Think about how you can create a new vision for you to work towards because that is going to bring in that fulfillment and that meaning that you can feel right now. And you don't need to change anything. Here's the thing, you don't need to change anything around you, and you can be the person who sit with things a lot longer to allow yourself to create more experience from them. So, this is my insights and what I've been learning recently and really listening into recently within me as I am navigating and transitioning in my life in Taiwan. I definitely have a lot more to share. And this is just the beginning. And but yeah, share with me if you have any. Have you been in Taiwan before? Have you also been wanting to move to a different country or move to a home country of where you came from? Come and share with me. Let me know what your life has been like, how you have been feeling at my on my Instagram at daringliving.com. But yeah, I would love to know, have you also been thinking about wanting to move to a different place somewhere, reconnecting with your culture, with your roots? And how are you, and what are some ways that you're doing right now to really enrich the experience of your normal everyday life? Definitely send me a message over on Instagram at Daring Living. I would love to connect with you further on there. All right. Have an amazing week, everybody. I will talk to you soon. Bye.